Well, this is the moment we've been waiting for, the championship match in tonight's championship bowling TV finals, the DPBA Pro Tour. And tonight our top seed, Nemo Lingerman, out of Baltimore, Maryland, 30 years old. Nemo looking for his first Pro Tour victory. He was a TV runner-up out of the Longmeadow Bowl, Hagerstown, Maryland, several weeks ago. And tonight he faces Stan Senk, our number 3 seed. And I guess we're just about ready to go, as Nemo Lingerman will have the option to decide who bowls first. The top-seeded bowler always does, and I believe he will bowl first.
Yeah, I think I could have guessed that, Mike. Nemo's the type that bring it to me. You know, the pressure. I think he puts pressure on himself each ball to keep himself geared. He's a very competitive person, having played professional baseball in the Minnesota farm system for 3 years as a relief pitcher.
So he likes that late inning stretch. As a relief pitcher, he used to come in late to try to put out those fires, and likes that late game pressure. First southpaw we've seen tonight.
Nemo spends a lot of time practicing. He had to overcome an accident where he lost part of his ring finger on his bowling hand, and it of course changed his delivery, and he has practiced and practiced and practiced and probably come back at least to the form prior to the accident, if not even better, and I think only because of the competitiveness inside.
And Senk served notice that he is a force to be reckoned with tonight, as that was as pretty a strike as you're going to see.
And cannonballs, boom, gone, flying ducks.
Didn't need any assistance there.
There were many of them this weekend at Town Hall Lanes.
And he's going to wait for that ball to come back. Likes the feel of that particular duckpin ball. Chops through the middle.
It's a sign of good conditions when you can chop, and you're chopping 6 instead of quite often it's 2, 3, or 4, and it adds up over a period of 10 games when you're counting on marks.
That's a disappointing frame for Stan, as he follows up the strike in the first frame with 7 there, and gives him a 24 after 2 frames. And here's Nemo Lingerman. Seems to be such a great athlete that it's only a matter of time before he picks up that first tour win. A little deadwood on the lane, cleared away.
And I believe after the first one, they'll probably come a little quicker than this first one.
Takes a little time to learn how to win. And he's got it. Beautiful spare. Picked up by Nemo Lingerman Jr. in the second frame.
You watch. He's making the 4, 5, 7, slapping the 4 into the 7 off the live rubber here at Town Hall Lanes.
Nemo's been on the tour for some 5 years. He's been bowling duckpins for only 7 years. And we might get a shot of her in the background, but his wife Patty is a very big part of his pro bowling career, as she sits in on every match and charts every ball that he throws.
Every ball. A lot of people keep their score, but she charts every ball, where it went, what happened. Amazing. And I would imagine if it's studied, and he probably does study it, that it allows him to practice his weaknesses. If he has a certain pin that he has trouble with.
Well, he follows up the nice spare on the second with an 8 count in the third, giving him 34 after 3.
$2,000 to the winner, $1,000 to the loser, and of course the star.
And a trip to the Caribbean via American Airlines for the winner of tonight's championship bowling match. And here we are in the championship match. We've already had 2 matches. Stan Senk, the winner of both of those, and he has fought his way into the championship match.
I can tell you, Nemo's sitting back. This is the kind of match you dream about. You know, a guy having trouble, and he's watched Stan throw strikes, and beat up on the first two opponents, and he's having a little trouble. And of course, Nemo's having a little problem of his own, of 34 through 3 to 32 for Stan. Leaves the 5-7 split.
I know we've talked about this before, Joe, but is fatigue a factor, even just mental strain in terms of bowling up the ladder? Stan has already bowled twice. This is the third one.
The mental
maybe
part
not
of
as
it.
sharp.
Not the physical, but you have, you know, how many peaks and valleys can you go through? You know, you're bowling under pressure, you win the game, you take a deep breath and sort of settle down. Then the problem is getting back up.
After 4 frames, Stan Senk has a 42. This is Nemo Lingerman out of Baltimore, Maryland. Made him fly there, but he leaves 1.
Very powerful ball. He tried many techniques in practicing, trying to overcome the physical handicap when he lost the finger, hooking the fingers together. That didn't work. And finally, I mean, he actually wore the end of that finger out. He threw so many balls. There he missed the 6-pin. That doesn't make you too happy at this point, because he had Stan waiting with 42 in the 4th.
And a mark there would have given him a little edge. Now, as it stands, he's got a 1-point lead, 43-42 after 4 frames. However, a mark there, you see his wife Patty, who is not looking very happy. He's a little dejected after that last frame.
Yes, she didn't like charting those 2 balls, I'm sure.
Probably do those in a different color ink.
Well, you know, any professional person, as competitive as Nemo is, I know, personally, I know from experience that he is thinking of what happened in Hagerstown, and he missed a couple spare shots.
Just like that, too.
Yes, and he lost the match, and it does come back. It's very hard to get that out of the file cabinet and disposed of, so it doesn't come back on you.
Well, there's the same shot, the
So
same
many
spare
times.
attempt that we talked about for the right-handers, just reversed for the left-handed Nemo Lingerman.
Exactly, the shot that's so easy to pick, because it's actually where the ball's straightening out. But what upsets you as a bowler is you just missed a single. Now you've picked 1 off of 2.
And an opportunity for two frames where you can add the spare, and you come up empty both times. Nemo sits down with a 53 after 5, and Stan Senk has the door wide open for him. And boy,
It may reach it yet. Many times this weekend they have. Look, it's still trying. Nope.
finally slows down, and see a good look at Stan. He's going to take a higher look there, as he was looking at every angle to make sure that that pin stopped.
We were on Stan, but the pin did bump the pin, and they've fallen so easily here that that's why he got up on his toes.
Once again, see the form of Stan Senk, that time picking up a mark, a spare in the 5th. It's only the 3rd mark that we've had in this match. So the pressure may be getting to both bowlers just a little bit, because there's a lot riding on this particular match.
It's amazing how head-to-head bowling creates. Nice ball. There comes the weapon that Stan brought with him.
Stan Senk putting the pressure on Nemo Lingerman, our top seed, and we'll see who comes out on top in this championship match. As you take a look at Stan Senk, we'll pause and be back in a couple of minutes. We're in the midst of our championship match tonight. Nemo Lingerman and Stan Senk, and Nemo will be up now in the 6th frame, trailing in this match and needing some marks. He's only got 1. He spared in the 2nd. Otherwise, has not really looked sharp. Not as sharp as he was yesterday in qualifying, coming in averaging 166 with a high of 202. See how that pin flew across the lane.
Yes, and Nemo, as powerful as he is and as powerful a ball as he throws, I think in the situations like the head-to-head, and this is a championship match. Nice shot.
Oh, what a beautiful effort by Nemo Lingerman. Picked up a tough spare already.
Tough luck when you can slide
Just
the
missed
pin
that.
thin enough to not catch the corner. Boy.
Good effort there, but it leaves him with just a 10 in the 6th frame, giving him 63. So he is he's down at least a mark here in this game.
Down 9 pins plus Stan's strike. Nemo's had 3 tough frames. The 4th frame he missed a single. The 5th frame he picked a 2-pinner. That means knocking the front one off. And then
there it is. That's what he's been waiting for. He didn't see it, but after the strike, he grabbed his towel, like saying that.
Well, he knows
finally,
he left.
I did what I was supposed to do way back in the 1st frame.
But what was really going through his mind was the fact that he had the tough luck and he slid the pin. And really should have had, with any justice at all, should have made the split, the 5-7. That would have been a 10-pin count. And we'd have had almost a tie match. But, of course, that's history, and he's working on the strike in the 7th. Stan tried to slide to 3-4-6, coming very close.
Not wasting any time. Oh, almost picked that up.
Back to his rapid fire, isn't he? 89 through 7 to 73 plus 16-pin lead for Stan Senk. Nemo, who is very capable of throwing double headers, stringing strikes.
Especially when he gets the groove, as we've seen before. In a previous TV up-the-ladder competition, Nemo was particularly proficient in throwing strikes. Tonight just has the 1. Stan Senk working off an open frame in the 7th, here in the 8th.
He's shooting the 7-pin for a spare. Bullseye.
So he keeps the pressure on Nemo.
The lights and the intensity of the match have Stan just about soaking wet.
Just did miss it.
Where you watch and you wonder how the pins get by. 3 of them went in the corner. They come out, and there he has the 7 for a single. And he doesn't want to make another mistake this game, Mike. He's trying to catch up, and he just cannot afford any more mistakes.
Oh, he slipped a little bit there, as you might have seen him at the end of the delivery. He had to use that left hand to hold himself up. Maybe try to put a little too much on it. He's got it there. He's got 10 count. 92 after 8 frames. Nemo casts a glance up to the score. Wasn't happy with what he saw. And there is the score.
He's missed 3 spare breaks this game, and you just don't beat a bowler usually of Stan Senk's caliber when you make that many mistakes.
I was going to say, if you added in a couple of spares to his score, this match would be a little bit different. Stan Senk maybe would have been looking up at the scoreboard wondering how he was going to catch Nemo, and now it's quite the other way, and a big spare opportunity here.
Yes, that was a must. He's still in the game. Still in the game. He's 7 pins down. Both bowlers having a mark. Of course, Nemo's in the 9th frame, Stan in the 8th. But we've watched it turn around. You know, Stan can put a lot of distance, or it can close up, depending on this ball. Well thrown. 5-pin for a single, 108 through 8. He has a 16-pin lead and a spare in the 9th frame. So
that was a big frame for Stan Senk in his effort to become our championship bowling champion tonight.
$2,000, vacation, a star.
See Nemo looking on, hoping that Stan doesn't go out big time here in the 10th.
He needs Stan to make a mistake. Okay, 127. The most Nemo can shoot is 142. So if Stan were to make this single and put 6 on, we would have a champion. And believe me, that's what you want to do. Decide his own destiny right here.
Well, he picked that up okay. And now it's within his grasp. You see him take a deep breath. Of course, he has been working hard the last hour or so, as this is his third match, as he's climbed the ladder from being the number 3 seed, and he's just pins away from being the champion tonight.
Oh my.
Leaves the door open.
Well, you can bet he's thinking, I wonder if that's going to come back to haunt me. Of course, the first ball Nemo throws and the second ball must be strikes.
Well, we've seen Nemo before on television, and he did strike out in one of those matches, so he is capable of doing it. Let's see what happens here. This will tell the story, this first ball. He's got an opportunity. Oh! It hit it, but just not hard enough. And he can't come any closer.
I was watching Stan Senk, and he just let out another breath of air. And we do have a winner, Mike. And the star eludes Nemo one more time.
Likes to stay in the same lane. Ball it out. See his right pad. He gives a sort of a brave smile. Not happy, but you give it your best effort, and his effort today was just a little bit short. He drops a 140-129 decision to Stan Senk, so Stan picks up his first star on the first title on the tour in some 13-14 years, and we'll talk to him and present him with his check in just a couple of moments when we return on Championship Bowling. Welcome back to Championship Bowling. I'm standing with Frank Ferry, the operator and owner of the Town Hall Lanes in Johnston, Rhode Island. And Frank, you have an award to make.
Stanley, on behalf of Town Hall Lanes, I'd like to present you a check for $2,000. Nice bowling, horse.
Thank you, Frank.
Nice bowling.
Stan Senk, our winner tonight on Championship Bowling, beating Nemo Lingerman 140-129. And of course, Stan also receives round-trip airfare from American Airlines to wherever they fly in the Caribbean. And Joe, as far as that was concerned, it was quite an impressive performance coming out of the number 3 seed to come on and win the championship.
Well, once again, we watched the bowler win 3 games, and it was a while. Stan was 13 years between victories, so I'd like to congratulate him, and once again, it's been a pleasure.
For Joe Rainier, for Frank Ferry and Stan Senk, I'm Mike Sella. We'll see you again next time on Championship Bowling.